Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 16. I've got some top stacks for you, and I want to remind you that in the current climate of NFL DFS, things can change extremely rapidly. Right before I hit go on this recording, and we do record all of these videos live on twitch.tv/Al_smizzle. So come and join the live show. I'm live 6 days a week, Monday through Friday, and then Sunday right before lock. But that's a whole other topic. Dalvin Cook is now placed in health and safety protocols, and somebody who was previously going to play on this slate is now probably not going to be able to make it as we're recording this on Thursday morning. Maybe he can make it back, but maybe he can't. So based on the current state of COVIDity in the NFL, we have no idea who's going to be available and who's not. This is where we stand right now, a snapshot in time on Thursday morning with who I believe are the top stacks. One team has been omitted who would be in this top stacks video if not for the current state of COVIDity on their roster, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. So in the case that somebody like Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce are both active on Sunday, then I would greatly prefer to play the Kansas City Chiefs as a part of my quarterback double stacks in tournaments. But right now, with both of them in health and safety, I can't put them on this list. So everything is an if-then statement. Prepare them, be nimble, just like week 15. Set yourself up in a position to be ready to go. And please do me a favor as we are in the Christmas season. 2 days before Christmas as I record this, your Christmas gift to me is to not alert me in the replies that somebody is out. You don't have to be a cosplay Adam Schefter. We know. We get it. I'm trying to put this out with the best information that we have to get you guys ready for the Sunday slate. So thank y'all for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell. Leave me a reply down below. Let me know what stack you are excited to use for the Sunday main slate. And let's go!
He's a legend.
Our top stacks video, as always, is brought to you by the fine folks over at Rotogrinders.com, and we highlight everything in the lineup HQ to go over how we build these stacks and everything else. So they just implemented dark mode. Congratulations and thank you to new CEO Dan Bach, my old co-host on Rotogrinders.com. So go over to smizzle.tv/Rotogrinders and go check out the great fine tools that they have. My best buys will be put in there later this afternoon into their lineup HQ, and that's what we're going to use to build everything on Rotogrinders through their lineup HQ. Putting our top stacks into there. The Smizz Gang Listener League, smizzle.tv/league will take you there. It is 3,250 people, $32,500 in prizes, $10 to enter, and 5 max. We filled it last week. I believe that we can fill it again. Best tournament out there. Absolutely no rake. You should be focusing on the no rake tournaments as best you can. If you want to take a shot at GPPs around, if you're a smaller bankroll player, focus on those no rake GPPs, and we'll shout out all the winners on the second channel, Al Smizzle Games, on the recap video for week 16. So that's at smizzle.tv/league. Make sure that you get in, bookmark it. It'll take you there. Justin Herbert, our cover boy, he always looks so happy. He looked so happy in the thumbnail, and he looks super happy here. Looks like he's about 14 years old. God bless this man. And God bless that arm, because multiple touchdowns in like every game but 4, and 2 of those came in weeks 1 and 2. Adds some upside with his legs as well. 3 touchdowns total in 4 of the last 5 games. 300-yard bonus in 3 of the last 5 games, and squares off against Houston, who is not good defensively. So in my Herbert stacks, again, monitor everything. We know that Eckler is in the COVID-19 protocols. If he can't make it back, that means that Justin Jackson is going to be heavy chalk this week, stepping into a high volume role. I don't think he's going to step into the full Eckler, but that would be considered the ceiling for him in terms of usage. I do believe that he is going to be splitting a little bit with Joshua Kelly, who is more of an inside the tackles pounder. Double J, thank you for the $1,000 donated to No Kid Hungry. I really appreciate that. feel free to interrupt that video with $1,000 donation anytime. We're well over $100,000 donated at this point. Smizzle.tv/charity if you wanted to take part in our charity fundraiser for No Kid Hungry. We've reached and exceeded all of our goals. So if you have benefited from this content, if you believe that you're a better player, or if you have won this year, and maybe you just want a tax write-off before the end of the calendar year, it will run until midnight on December the 31st. Smizzle.tv/charity will take you there. So because of Eckler, if he misses, Jackson being 4,200 is going to be in like everybody's lineup. That means that Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, possibly Jared Cook, you might even be able to reach down for somebody like Joshua Palmer, with the other receivers like Guyton, who is on health and safety protocols, is going to be less held because, people will include Justin Jackson with their Herbert lines to say, well, if I'm on him, that allows me to get to somewhere else, which means that you can leverage off of all of the percentage that could theoretically be on Justin Jackson by playing Justin Herbert doubles. You can bring that back with Dalvin Cook. Not Dalvin Cook. That's a whole other story. With Brandon Cooks on that team. Let's go over here. Let's go to the lineup HQ. I'm going to X out the running backs in this. I'm not going to use him. I'm not going to use Trey McKitty. I like cats, but we're not using Trey McKitty in this. Jason Moore, love him on the Fantasy Footballers podcast. Not going to include him in my double stacks. It's going to be straightforward and simple with these four guys, two of them, and then bring it back with somebody on Houston. Looking at our next stack, staying in Los Angeles, however, even though they're traveling to Minnesota, the blue and gold feel is going to remain with Matthew Stafford. Stafford sucks, Al. He really doesn't. And y'all keep not playing him and not playing his passing game because you're stuck in take lock thinking that Matthew Stafford sucks when he really, really doesn't. You know who also doesn't suck? Cooper Kupp. Now, having the gig that I have at ESPN, writing Best Buys on the podcast and stuff, like Kyle Soppe, aka Thirsty Kyle from the Fantasy Focus, sends me a stat pack every week. Then I have him highlight some other players to give me some stats to lean on in podcasts and for Best Buys and everything else. The line that he wrote about Cooper Kupp, because, smizzle.tv/Best Buys will take you to the Best Buys article, by the way. Little sneak peek on Best Buys. Guess what? Cooper Kupp's in it. The line he wrote me on Cooper Kupp leads the league in everything. All right. Easy peasy. 9K. If you get 25 to 30 points out of a wide receiver, that'd be pretty good, right? You'd like that. That's the kind of scoring you want. Typically speaking, people are looking to try and get 3x plus out of their spends for cash games. He's certainly done that. If you can get 30 to 40 points out of any player, that makes them tournament viable because you're going to have to just stack up points to get you to 200, 250 to have a chance to win any tournament on DraftKings. And now we're in a situation where he is 3 touchdowns away from setting the Rams team record. He is, at his current rates, within striking distance of the all-time receiving yards record and challenging for the reception. Like he could break everything. And I don't see his volume changing. The Rams are 99% right now on probability to make the playoffs, and they're still playing for that home field advantage in the first round. So they've got to keep their foot on the pedal because the NFC is extremely, extremely competitive with very good teams. Stacking Stafford with Cooper Kupp, to me, looks like a must. I would possibly lock Stafford to Kupp and then sprinkle in one of Jefferson or Beckham. And then obviously if Higbee can get off, then fine. If not, maybe I'll throw in Blanton or Hopkins, but neither did much. It's really going to circle around these three and then the running backs, but I'm not going to use the running backs in my Stafford stacks. So going over to the lineup HQ, which I love the dark mode now, by the way. Henderson Jr., Michelle, Funk, great name, but not going to be in my lineup. We'll see if Higbee clears. For now, I'm going to leave Higbee in there because when healthy, he plays like 90+% of the snaps. Not going to include Powell. Not going to include Skoranek. It's, again, another tight group using at least 2 of these and then bringing it back with somebody on the other team, Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings, who is also in top stacks. This game between Minnesota and the Rams does look to project to play extremely fast. And they both teams get off a ton of plays. Both teams allow a lot of scoring, a fast-paced, high-scoring environment that I'm going to want to stack from both directions here. Now, the Rams defense, also a good defense, and Kirk Cousins with 2 games where he has not really gone bonkers, but they're going to have to throw the ball a lot more in this one to keep pace. The game against Chicago was out there really trying to establish the hell out of it, something that I cannot get behind. And Pittsburgh, also a very slow and slogging game where he completed less of his passes. I expect Kirk Cousins to kind of bounce back in terms of his efficiency, getting back to something closer to his season averages, where he's completed 66% of passes, as opposed to the last 2 weeks where he's completed less than 50% of his passes. And when you consider how good, you consider a couple of things. One, Dalvin Cook likely not going to be there, which makes Madison much more popular at 6,800, much more of a value. I was suggesting to pay up to be contrarian with Dalvin Cook so far this week, and now he's out. Now you don't have to pay up anymore to get the high volume running back involved in the passing game. But you can afford Justin Jefferson with all the value that's out there in at running back. We'll see if Thielen is back. Limited Wednesday practice. If he's back, he's going to be my primary guy in that. We will include Tyler Gronklin in there as well, and probably Osborne to go along with him. If Thielen is out, we're not going to play him, right? That's our rule in this channel. If somebody is out on the weekend, we don't play them, and we will boost a little bit. This group uses invalid player because Dalvin Cook is out. They've removed him from the player model. I'm going to have to dive in and see if I would consider using Madison. Again, this news broke right before I hit record. So if you want to leave him in there, like I'd be kind of okay with it, but I feel like it's more of a leverage play off of Madison and just to go after the passing game in this spot, considering that they do project to play from behind, though it is a closer spread than normal. I'm not going to use Smith Marset. I'm not going to use KJ Osborne unless Adam Thielen is out, which opens me up to this combination of 4, and you can X Madison out if you want. I'm probably going to tie Justin Jefferson to every one of those because homie is open on every single route that he runs by like 3 to 5 yards. No wide receiver gets as much separation on their own as him. Cooper Kupp also wide open a lot, but a lot of that is based on scheme. He's also good in tight areas, but like has to make more contested catches because he's not as free as Justin Jefferson all the time. Joe Burrow's 5,900. That seems silly. You know what else seems silly is Ravens defensive coordinator Wink Martindale saying that they're not going to double and or triple team Jamar Chase because Joe Burrow is not a Hall of Fame quarterback and Aaron Rodgers is, and Devontae Adams is one of the top 2 wide receivers in the league and he's not number 2. Baltimore has struggled at defending the deep pass. You know who has not struggled at running deep routes and making contested catches and being open with a quarterback who's willing to challenge to him a lot is one Jamar Chase, who's cooked basically every single cornerback that he's squared off against this year. So Jamar Chase going to be in those stacks. T. Higgins also has great downfield ability. Tyler Boyd will run from the slot a lot more often. Kind of makes for a pivot off of one of these two. These are my 2 primaries in that. And CJ Uzomah, last time that they played, had a monster game, having 2 long touchdown catches himself, both after the catch type plays. Not going to get a lot of volume, is a little bit of a salary relief at a tough position like tight end, and it'll allow you to spend up elsewhere as a secondary stack. Like you could theoretically go with Joe Burrow and like Higgins and Uzomah to get off of the Chase chalk that I believe is going to be incoming, and then go to like Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson on the way back as a secondary. You can do filthy things this week, guys. This week, the salaries based on all the COVIDness and everything else are kind of weird. Mixon does look like he's going to play. Not going to include him in the stacks. Definitely not going to include P. Ryan as well. Wilcox out. Drew Sample out. Mike Thomas out. Stan Morgan out. That sounds more like an investment bank than a, you can trust us with your funds at Stanley Morgan. Uzomah, Chase, Boyd, Higgins, making sure that I use at least 2 of those. And our final stack of the week, I usually throw a puke stack in here, but like I don't think we even have to. I love main slates that include Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford. Easiest way to win this year is make sure that you have Brady stacks and Stafford stacks. I'm not going to use Cooper Kupp in that stack because he's not on that team. So I kind of have to isolate if I could find Tampa Bay. Going up against Carolina, who's been kind of a tough defense, but Godwin on IR. Evans is questionable, but trending towards playing. Was not in attendance for Thursday's practice. Obviously monitor the situation. If Evans is there, then Brown will play both outside and inside. He will cycle between being opposite Mike Evans and then play some routes in the slot. Tyler Johnson after Godwin left, ran a lot of routes from the slot last week. So he would be in that group as well. If Evans is out, then I think Perriman goes from like a sprinkle to being more of a 75+% guy. Monitor Evans' injury for that. Obviously, Gronkowski's role is set in stone, and this type of usage, 8+ targets, is going to be very commonplace, especially losing the 25% that Godwin was taking up, and Leonard Fournette, one of the highest or the highest pass catching running back on the season. So like there's no need for a puke stack this week because basically all the key stacks are in play. If you want to include Brait, that's fine. I'm not going to include Brait in my stacks. Perriman is dependent. He's your if then statement. Jalen Darden, not going to include him. This is basically going to be, well, they've got Evans out of here, right? Or is he not in? Is he not on the thing right now? He's not on the thing right now. They've X'd him out saying that he's going to be out. So monitor the injury status, see the way that it goes. And then again, like I said, you're going to have to set up your if then statements to do what you want to do. We'll go over to the builder. We're going to build just 10 lineups because that's a little bit quicker. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.